the show 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Aji. We just saw there are some wrestling for you for Team Nigeria for the fact that they didn't do well at the Olympics. Well, that would actually be the one to start with the story because the Wrestling Federation of Nigeria, they had to apologize. But before then, let me just throw one opening banter with our guest in the studio. Larry Peter is here. Good to have you.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here. A bad Sunday for Chelsea fans.
Oh, you're trying to...
Go ahead. Go ahead with your banter.
I've not said anything about Chelsea.
I know.
How come your blue is getting to ash color?
No, the blue is still blue. The sky will always be the sky.
Anyway, let's throw some banter there. We're always a way to throw some nice moment in the studio in the world of sport. We run through some stories for you right now. As we start with wrestling, as we just saw there, Wrestling Federation apologized to Nigerians for the fact that the outing was not too smooth at the Olympics. According to the president of the Federation, Daniel Igali, he felt that the next thing they need to do is to apologize to Nigerians for the fact that 6 wrestlers were taken to the Olympics, 5 women and 1 man. That's Ashton Mutua, who could not, they were not able to get any medal. In fact, Blessing Oborodudu, that was a lot of people were hoping that she could get bronze, couldn't do it. Adekure also could not do it. Not forgetting Hannah, also Esther Kolawole, Ogusoya, all of them backing out in that competition there. So the president had to apologize to Nigerians for the fact that they were expecting medals from wrestling because they took their best to the Olympics, but it did not happen. But the fact that if you check wrestling, it had actually gotten about 6 championship medals in the world, and now Nigerians were expecting them to do well, but it did not happen. I think that's a good one coming from that federation. That's maybe the only federation that apologized so far.
Apology noted, but not accepted.
Okay.
Yeah, and the fact that you went with the finest, the fitness, and the best doesn't mean you should come with an excuse. What I think we need to do, instead of listening to all their apologies left, right, and center, and the Minister of Youth and Sport also has gone to 2 or 3 different media houses apologizing. That's not what we need. All we need to know is an audit, comprehensive audit of what happened, comprehensive audit of what led to this disgraceful and embarrassing situation we found ourselves from 126 countries that participated in this just concluded Olympics. We are the only one without any medals. We don't need apology. It has been noted, but it's going to be accepted after a comprehensive audit to know what really happened. We need to hear from the athletes themselves also to know what really happened. Is it in terms of the preparation? Is it in terms of exposure? Is it in terms of experience? Is it in terms of motivation? We need to know that. They'll apologize. This is not the first time they're apologizing. And this is not the first time we are finding ourselves in this situation. And so what we need now is when a comprehensive audit comes out to really know the reason why we perform so woeful, so Fiji Island, Adeni, a country that you have to go and Google to know they are existing. They went to the Olympics and they came with medals. And we spent that huge amount of money for preparation, for everything. At least for the first time, we didn't hear the issue of allowances, bonuses. Nobody have said anything about that. So that means the money were given to them. Do they use the money judiciously? They claim they didn't have time to plan, but they have time to allocate, to spend the money, to send their contingent along with. No, I don't think the apology is not what.
Okay, now looking at this particular scenario, because I've seen that administrators, sports ministry have been blamed so far, but someone actually point out the athletes themselves, to some extent, the entire team Nigeria, everyone could, none of them could actually, even not even a minor, let me even use the word, smallest bronze. What went wrong to the athletes, the entire athletes? It was like each day that breaks, as at that time of the Olympics, Nigeria was hoping that, okay, one of them will be able to turn things around. If you remember, at the long jump, we had 3 qualifying for the final. All of them could not even get to win medal. Then there was the day of Toby Amuson. She couldn't even make the second stanza. She was able to make it in the first one. The second one, she fell out. The 200 meters, we saw what happened to Philly. We saw the weightlifter. Everything seems to be like, what happened each day that actually broke. Let me use the word since it's past now. But each day that actually come, we were expecting, it was one bad news to the other. As if all the athletes were like, it's my turn today. Is it out of fear or what?
Okay, and we've been saying this before. We don't have a succession plan. We are only concentrating on a known star.
Okay, what happened to the known stars? Why couldn't they deliver?
The issue is this. Now, the table tennis, you talk about Haruna Quadri, and we've said it times without number A. In those days, we don't really rely on Haruna Quadri as a superstar. Yomi Bankole, Atada Musa, we have all those people that compete also. The likes of Mario Yali also, we have Chema Jungwa, we have people that compete. We didn't go to the Olympic with only one or two stars. We went with people that they are hungry for success, not people that they believe that whatever happens, I'm still going to feature and represent the country. The number two, the reason why I'm not going to lay blame on the athletes themselves is just like the case of football. What do you blame if a team is winning or losing? It's the coach. Because the coach has the right to decide who to feature, who to play or who not to play, who to bench, who not to bench, who is fit, who is not fit. So as far as we are concerned as Nigerians, the people that went to the Olympics are our best. Because they are the one that said, oh, they sanctioned them, they are okay, they are fit. So if they did not deliver, so that means the fault should go first to the coaches and to the federation before we come to the players. Okay. So I think that is the angle that we need to look at it thoroughly. Toby Amushon, she didn't put herself there. Or did she? I don't know.
Qualified. But she qualified.
She qualified because she was given the opportunity. She was given the opportunity to represent the country. But if you are not grooming our grassroots sport in this country, we will not see the number of people that can compete with those that we believe that they are stars. So what we do is we just relax. The next Olympic again, don't worry. How is Toby Amushon? 26, 28. In the next 4 years, 32. She can still go. So we will not bother to look for our successor to go to the secondary schools, to go to the university, to go to the polytechnic, to go to the college of education, to see those that can really
put up a challenge against them.
So that is actually what we are really lacking. So I'm not going to blame the athletes there. They didn't put themselves there. They were recommended. They got qualified because they are given the opportunity. They should give other people the opportunity to do the same thing. We will not be talking like this.
Okay, while we are looking at that, we just want to make sure we comb every avenue of what actually happened at the Olympics, the athletes, the administrators, the sport ministry, AFN, NOC, everyone. Well, right now, Nigerians are really talking. It was a shambolic outing, but no one expected that. But as it is right now, the places where we can get it right. Let's look at this story. 2024 National Youth Games, Ministry confirms new date for zonal eliminations. Well, the zonal has to do with the 6 geopolitical zones where all the states under that zone will come together and they will all compete for them to pick the best. Now, if you look at this, 24 National Youth Games, Ministry confirmed new date. This is National Youth Games, not the sports festival. So, we expect from the zonal elimination, the problem I notice is that the people they even pick to come and represent states at the zonal elimination, are they the best?
Okay.
You understand? They are the zonal elimination now. The people that are going for the national, are they the best? Then before you now pick the best that will go for the country, because we've seen situations whereby some athletes are far better. Maybe because they are just, I don't want to use ordinary, but because they don't have anyone out there, an uncle or aunt who could speak for them. They can run very well, they can play badminton very well, pole vault, they can jump, they can do long jump. But just because they are ordinary Nigerians, and then they are shoved aside, and you bring in someone who you think maybe if you place them side by side, the ordinary Nigerian could have gotten 100, and the the connected one will be 40. The favored will be 40, and you take the 40 to an event to represent Nigeria. What do you expect? It's going to be shambolic.
Now you are agreeing with my.
Of course, I've always agreed.
No, okay. Now, to start with, we have to look at the process. Now, we are talking about youth. So we have to define what age are we looking at for the youth. So that will determine where we are looking at to get this youth from. So if you don't decide that, if you don't review that process, we'll be featuring people that are 25 and 28 years old and we'll be calling them youth. The purpose of having this is to have people that they have long period in serving the country, either in 100 meters, 200 meters, javelin, shot put, wrestling, badminton, volleyball, handball, football, just name it. So that's what we are talking about. But if you do not define that process of youth, I think we're going to look at it. We are the future. Who are the future? The youth. So for us to do this, I think the best place we need to go to is to go to the secondary school. I will not stop laying emphasis on this.
Okay.
We still need to look at it from the second, because if you are looking at youth, to me, someone 17, 16, 15 years old, and the best place you can get them, two places. Either you get them from the academy or you get them from the secondary
school. Okay,
good. Apart from these two institutions, there's no place in this country that you will get someone that is 17, 16, 15 years old that will be representing Nigeria. All those people are playing in the club. Take it or leave it. They've done trials.
Several clubs
before they can get to that place. So until we really prioritize the grassroots sport development in this country, what we used to have in the 1980s, in the 1990s, that when it is time for Principal's Cup, everybody, we even normally have people from abroad that will come and watch people, how they play, how they do things. But now we don't have that again. So that is where we need to start it from.
We need to start from there. While we're talking about the National Youth Games, let's look at the dates. 2024 National Youth Games, new date for zonal elimination there. Well, talking about this, the Federal Ministry of Sport Development has announced August 28 to September 1st, 2024 as a new date for the zonal elimination of the 8th National Youth Games, which will be held in the 6 geopolitical zones. The new date that was confirmed following the arrival of top officials of the Federal Ministry of Sport Development from Paris 2024 Olympics. The initial date for the zonal elimination was moved due to the protests that rocked the nation between 1st to 10 August. States are expected to participate in baseball, basketball, cricket, hockey, football, handball, volleyball, and rugby. Those are the sports that the states will be participating in the zonal elimination in 6 centers across Nigeria: baseball, basketball, cricket, hockey, football, handball, volleyball, and rugby. And to let you know that at least let the best be picked from all this, according to Olari Peter, we need to go more grassroots and get the best out of these athletes to represent us in all these sports that have been mentioned there. Hopefully, it will happen. We just hope that we continue to pick the best at National Youth Games, National Sports Festival. Let's pick the best. It's gone at those days when Nigeria really dominated sport, but we need to go back. We have the population, that particular support there. That's a very good platform for us to pick the best. After all, we are so many when it comes to Nigeria that are into sport. So from there, one man that has really done well when it comes to promoting sport in Nigeria, they call him Ejidike. Ejidike is Nigerian pillar of sport, and right now he's calling for restructuring, overhaul of Nigerian sport. Considering what happened at the Olympics, the man that has been at least seeing how he's been trying to see how he can help promote sport is saying, well, he's calling for restructuring, overhaul of Nigerian sport. He mentioned that the policies we are actually want to use, or administrators, some administrators are not good enough. They need to work on those that are not they've been redundant for years, move them out, bring in people that have ideas, fresh ideas, who are up to date in the running of sport, and also administrators who are really very good at their onions should be put there. And also, let's go back to the grassroots, calling for restructuring and overhaul of Nigerian sport, coming from Chief Ejidike, the Nigerian pillar of sport, talking.
I agree with him 100%. There's need for us to really restructure the sport ministry, and the federal government also, they need to have a rethink about when it comes to appointing who will be the sports minister. It shouldn't be a political appointment. It should be an appointment that is given to a professional. That is first step in it. If you are giving someone with an agricultural background or someone with nursery and primary education background to come and manage sport in this country, someone that has never done sport before, it's like someone that doesn't even understand the word sport. What do you expect the person to do? It is what they tell you that you will do or what you read. So it should go beyond that. So there's some portfolio in the federal cabinet that if you are not a professional,
you need a technocrat to understand it, or someone that's been there.
Exactly, you shouldn't even near that. I think sport ministry should be given that priority also.
So it means, from what you are saying, even if the person, if he's not even an ex-athlete or footballer or whatever, at least be a technocrat in sport, have sports background, knows much about the running of sport.
For example, now, when we are, those days, when we were in secondary school, we have PHE teacher, that's the physical health and education teacher. We still have some people that are studying that.
Of course, now, the master's level, degree level,
so we have people that really understand what they call sport in general. What stops us from looking at
we
people
have
like
PhD holders in this?
Yes, so that's what we are talking about, that we have to look at people that are professionals, that are technocrats, that understand. It's not necessary for you to have played football, basketball, volleyball. No,
but just be at least have a know of it.
That is the first step, because a situation whereby you don't have an idea of where you are going to, it's just an appointment that, okay, go in there, I'm appointing you just to compensate you for what you've done to me during the election. What are you going to get? That's number one. Then number two, when it comes to the election of the of the federations and president
yes,
and what have you, there should be a lot of clauses that if you don't have this, if you don't achieve this, if you have not done this, you shouldn't be controlling the affairs of that federation. Number one, for example, if you're looking at who's going to be the NFF chairman, for example, we have to put a lot of things in. Number one, to me, if you ask me, you must apply the trade of football before. Applying the trade of football doesn't mean you should be a footballer. You may be a coach, you may be a referee,
a club chairman or team manager. Just have the experience.
Not someone that all his life he has been organizing show in Edo or Benin City, and all of a sudden they appointed him as
Minister of Sport.
So what are you talking about? So that is the first place that we need to get it right. Then number two, I will not stop emphasizing on going to the grassroots, because all these countries that they are doing very well, go to US, Australia, China, Japan, it's grassroots. From secondary school, I watched a clip of some Japanese students, how they are training them on gymnastics. In fact, I don't know, maybe our government, they decided to look the other way around, to the good side of what the developed countries are doing, and try to import or give us the bad one. They started training these kids at the age of 6, 7 years old. Now tell me, by the time they get to 14, 15 and they're representing their country, tell me what, they will be the best among the best. So that's what I think we really need to do, and that will really help us to restructure and have a policy that we're going to follow. If you don't do that, they'll just use it as a money-making machine, which I think it is currently.
Look at the kids that are jumping there in gymnastics. We have these kids. This is grassroots. I want to point out something. I met with these kids. Some of them even went to Asaba for the National Youth Games. But to let you know that, do you know that majority of these kids you are seeing is the parents that are pushing for them to be able to compete in different competitions they travel to. I remember when they went to South Africa, they had to source for fund for these kids. That one particular popular one among the Stephanie, very talented gymnast. And in fact, I interviewed the mom, and the mom was like, well, courtesy of the father, they have been trying to see how this lady will not drop this idea of gymnast, because she's really doing well in it. And you can look at, just look at what they are training with. Look at that. If we say we want to go to the grassroots, and look at these kids, they are available, but they don't have the facilities there. Is just it's another grassroots facility,
okay,
that you can call it. Look at a weightlifter. You can imagine what they train with. This is not, if you check now worldwide, the standard, I'm sure maybe this is grade B or grade C. You understand? Most of these guys, they don't even have things to train with. We already know they are there, but look at what they train with at times. You pity them.
Okay, our case in summary, in terms of sport, is like the case of a student with good handwriting but always failing exams. Now, we have the human resources. That's the truth. But the infrastructure and the management has been our problem. So we really need to focus on that. And how can we improve on our infrastructure and the management is by having the right people at the helms of affairs, people that understand how it is. And if the government should realize how much they are missing from the revenue they are missing from the sport activities, sincerely, they put more effort in it than in other areas that they are really doing.
Seriously, maybe it's high time, maybe government, let me split it to the three, local, state, federal, needs to understand what is at stake in sport, the kind of money that is involved. I remember one particular seminar where they mentioned that worldwide, worldwide, over $29 billion changes hand every year in sport. And if, let's come down to Nigeria now, Nigeria can actually earn, let's just mentioning it on a lower level, 25 billion. That will solve a lot. That we actually solve just from sport, and just because they don't want to go too far. Okay, let's just place that 25 billion. A statistician mentioning all the facets of where Nigeria can earn revenue from different sports. Even though we are focusing on football, there are so many other sports where we can earn a lot. You saw that gymnastics that we were showing earlier. The medals that gymnastics can get for Nigeria could be up to 8 or 9. Weightlifting, wrestling, all this sport. You'll be wondering, and each medal comes with an amount of money attached to it. So why don't we take opportunity of having the population get things right, get the right facilities? Facility manager, like I always mention, whatever you study, you can use it to work in sport. There'll be people that can manage these facilities to make sure they are not moribund. Go across Nigeria, most of the stadium or stadia that are not being put into use, they are there because nobody cares. Look at MK Abiola in Abuja, the national stadium. If you go there, you'll be shocked. What happened? Why can't we just manage it well? Why can't we just put it into use well? It's at time politics or religion, whatever it is they do. I remember the cyclists complain that whenever they want to train, it's either the velodrome they want to use is actually used for something else.
Like?
She mentioned religious services or political campaigns or thereabout. They don't have access most times, and you can imagine.
So they've commercialized
one way or the other. Something must be done. If you are to get it right, everybody just pointing. Okay, administrator, all of us, the men in charge of approving the stadium, who's approving the stadium for the region? What can't they just stop it?
But no, you know the reason why I disagree a bit with you on that. Now. And you got the information. I'm sure also the sports minister will have that information. What has he done as the
to correct that?
To correct that immediately. Okay. If a message has been sent out that whoever approved that has been relieved of their duty.
We keep hearing heads to roll. We are waiting for the heads to roll.
This has been happening for how many years? Remember National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos? There were agents that were collecting money from people and renting the place out
until that light fell.
For months, for years. Agents will go to the rooms and be collecting. That is why I said whoever is going to manage the sport must be someone that is ready to work, must be someone that really understands the nitty-gritty, not someone that they are just giving a political appointment. No, the ministry should not be for political compensation.
Not a jamboree anyway.
Not a jamboree.
Well, seriously, something must be done concerning Nigerian sport. The decay there is just too much. We just have to get it right. If you have to get it right, it's not only to get them from the grassroots, everybody has been saying. A lot of things needs to be embedded there. And really, just like we are talking about corruption in Nigeria, all of us, I myself, you out there watching, we need to also check ourselves. It's not about the embezzling of money. What about public properties or facilities? How do you handle them? How do you do it while you're walking on the street? Where you see those cleaners that clean it, do you intentionally drop some dirt there to cause them more harms or meet their job as if they didn't do it? A lot of us, we just have to begin with ourselves first before we can get things right in Nigeria. Food for thought there. As we're talking sport also, we need to also check ourselves on the show. Right now, let's talk about football. This time we're talking about our ladies under 17. They call them the Flamingos. They'll be traveling to Dominican Republic, and right now they resume the first phase of final camping. 35 of them have been invited by coach Bayo Kiri. And now let's have the list on the screen there while we talk about the Flamingos. Well, for the coach, it didn't fit to invite 35 of them first for the first camping, where they'll be put down to the team that will be going. But I love the fact that if you check, although this is under 17 anyway, you expect most of them to come from the Nigerian League. Christiana Uzoma, Edo Queens, Elizabeth Boniface, Sunshine Queens, Sylvia Echefu, Conference Queens, Mary Igene, Oshun Babes, Juliana, Simon, Yusufon, Kaduna. That's a good one from Yusufon, Kaduna. They are goalkeepers that have been invited. Defenders, Priska Uwachuku from Imo Strikers, Jumaya Debayo, Nigeria Tels, Taiwa Degoke, Remo Stars Ladies, Oluwatoyin Olowo Kere Ekiti Queens, Rokibat Aziz, New Generation FA. Well, that's a good one there, New Generation. Hannah Ibrahim, Remo Star Ladies, Vivian de Kezie, Heartland Queens, Ololade Isiaka, Abia Angels, Tibila Ifalui, and you have Asisat Oshuala Academy. Wow, That's from Assistant Overhaul Academy there. Elizabeth Adeshui, Kasmog ladies. Now let's go to the midfielders and also the strikers that have been invited by the coach. Taiwa Folabi, Delta Queens, Mary Aderemi, Bayelsa Queens, Farida Abdul Wahab, Nasarawa Amazons, Shakira Moshood, Bayelsa Queens, Ogenemero Obrute. You have City Sport, Obrute rather, Queen Joseph of Fosla Academy, Farikike Moses from Danas Queens, Amara Chukwu Obnora from Edo Queens, Justina Owolabi Odo State Academy, Adana Nwachukwu Nigeria Tells, the forwards are Yetunde Ayotosho from Atlant Queens, Harmony Chidi from Imo Strikers, Kuridat Arugundade from Greenfoot, Ramota Karim from Honey Badgers, Aisha Anima Shaun Nigeria Tells, Peace Effion Rivers Angels, Blessing Ifitezwe from Delta Queens, Muinat Rotimi from Nakamura Football Academy. I hope that's not from Japan. Anyway, Aisha Bolaniwa, Ghetto Tigers, Azizat Oluwole from Right Vision Academy. What a name there. Ghetto Tigers, Greenfoot, and you have Right Vision Academy. These are all from Nigerian clubs, and the good thing is that the coach has invited 35 of them to be in the first phase of the campaign before they will be pulled down for the Dominican Republic 24 under 17 World Cup that will be starting. That will be October.
Okay, and a good development, and I think we can do far better than this. And what do I mean? We should be looking at the future Super Falcons from this list.
From here to Falconet, from Falconet to Super Falcons.
Super Falcons. So there should be that transition, and for us to really get that transition very well, like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, we should be looking at people more from the academy. But that's where you can really get. We are talking about under 17. That means whoever we are featuring should be between 15, 16 years old. And if you have someone that is already playing in the Nigerian league, the issue of the age or something
has to dicey, be right?
very, very dicey. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. But from this list that they released now, we have only 5 from the academy. One from
Fosla,
Odo Academy, Assistant Oshola. So
I don't know if the Greenfoot.
The Greenfoot is not an academy. It's an academy. The name will have been there. That it's an academy.
Okay.
So I think we should focus more on the academy. Then when it comes to Falconet and under 17, under 15, I think we normally do very well in the country. And I normally ask myself a question, and to my colleagues also, that what happened to all these stars, all these young stars that we discovered during this competition? What do we have for them? What is for them again after this competition that they've done very well? What is the progression? What is the transition? Where are they moving to? How are they moving to it? Who is keeping tab on them after this competition? Where are they playing for? How can we bring them back? So these are the things that we really need to look into as a country. Not only, they are going to represent Nigeria at the World Cup, but after the World Cup, either we win or we lose, we discard them, we start looking for someone else. Nothing even stop us from having 13, 14 years old to go and represent us. If the competition is for every 2 years, so that means in the next 2 years, they'll still be ripe to represent the country again. So that shows that they have the experience, the exposure to go in there and do better. So these are the process that I think we need to really introduce into our sport and activities in the country. So as far as they are concerned, I know they will go there and they will do very, very well. When it comes to women's football, in Africa, even in the world, we've seen what Nigeria have done. We are more like the perennial winners. We are like the Primus Inter Pares, that best among equal, that everybody normally looked forward to meet, to beat, or to play with. So I don't have an issue with this, but I have issue with the continuity. Because if you look at our Super Falcons right now,
it's dropping.
It's dropping.
The performance level.
The performance is dropping now. We are having a lot of young stars coming in while we are still continuing to push for the old one. So we need to look into that. So for the ladies, I wish them best of luck.
Wishing them best of luck. They're talking about Nigeria Flamingo under 17 going to the World Cup. That will be coming up in Dominican Republic October. And also the senior category under 20. That's the Falconets. As we speak right now, they are in Colombia to settle for the World Cup there under 20. Wishing them the best as they prosecute these games. And the coaches, Coach Danjuma and also Coach Olowokere, both of them trying to see how they can do well in this competition. We wish them the best. Hopefully they will come back with a trophy and also being able to graduate to the senior level for Super Falcons. As we're talking about that, we are going to move gradually to the upper level. When we talk about the men, well, for the men, actually play some football over there in Europe, in club football. Let's talk about Monday result of games that were played yesterday. Matches were played in Spain, in Germany, in France, in England. For Leicester City against Tottenham Hotspur, they were able to get their act back after returning to the Premier League at the King's Power Stadium. Leicester 1-0 against Tottenham Hotspur. What a match, what a performance from Jamie Vardy and the entire team. Good one for them. Villarreal against Atletico 2-2. It ended over there in Spain. Valladolid 1, Espanyol 0. Juventus, it was a wallop in the nearly spelled Como in that game. 3-0 against Como. The team and that Fabregas is actually in charge there. For Lecce against Atalanta at that particular stadium there. Gasperini, well, what a match. Good one for Atalanta. They were able to win against Lucas Gotti there. Well, for the fact that Atalanta, without Ademola Lookman, were still able to score 4 goals against Lecce. And for Como, they need to go back and sit down and learn how to play football. But our attention is going to be on Leicester versus Tottenham Hotspur. Leicester-Tottenham, it seems a lot of people were, although bookmakers were thinking Tottenham Hotspur will actually outrun them, but Leicester, just coming back from the lower league and back to the Premier League, were able to hold their own. They play 1-1.
I know it will be difficult for Tottenham to defeat Leicester City yesterday, and for 3 reasons. Number one, their former winner of the Premier League in 2015 season, they won it. So, the number 2, they are back from relegation just after 1 season. The number 3, they are playing their first match at home in front of their fans. I'm sure they're going to give it out. And when Tottenham scored the first goal, I was like, oh, they've invited trouble and they're going to get it. And we saw what happened. After the goal by Tottenham, it's like they went back again. And Leicester City counter was coming up and down before the equalizer came from their legend, Vardy, that scored the equalizer. If not because of the good hand of Foster, it would have been 2 or 3-1 against Tottenham Hotspur. So I think it's a very good one. It's a very good football. And if you see what Leicester City played yesterday, they press more and they play more from the wing. So that shows that coming back to the Premier League, it's not as if they are coming to sleep. They are coming to compete. They may not compete for the trophy, but they are competing to stay, and there will be a spoiler. Because like yesterday, probably Tottenham have been looking at, oh, Leicester City, they're back from relegation. Probably they won't be the Leicester City that we used to know. They won't be the Leicester City that gave them tough time in 2015-2016 season. Because it was more like the Tottenham season to win the league. Then later it looked more like Arsenal season to win the league, and Leicester City, they came from nowhere and they finished top of the league behind, and Arsenal second, Tottenham came third, and the other people followed behind. So it's a very good one to see them coming back and making a statement that, oh, we let it off last season, but now we are back, and we are back to do the business. We understand the business, and we'll show you what you are made of. So I think it's a very good one for Leicester City yesterday.
Been a good one for Leicester. Sri Lanka, Dominic, for that game. A lot of people were hoping that at least, being the fact that it's a freshman, we told him also to be able to deliver, but it seems Vardy outshine him.
You can't expect Vardy that have been with Leicester City. They understand the players, the pattern, the style for over 10 years. And compare it with Dominic Solanke that just came to Tottenham for the first season. He has never played with Son before. He never played with Richardson before. Madison, he has never played with them before. So he doesn't understand the style and pattern of Tottenham. So you can't compare the two. That's the truth. But you cannot take it away from Solanke that is a prolific striker. His time will come. His moment will come. But not in the first 2, 3, 4 matches. It doesn't work that way. If he has remained in Bournemouth, definitely if they have played against Leicester City, they will have scored.
Okay, because he's been with them.
He has been with them. So that is what I think really happened yesterday. He's a good striker, but it will take some time for him to adapt to the style of play of Tottenham.
Okay, while he's adapting with the club now, that's the player that's been adapting with a particular club. But what happened to that player? Well, as we are talking about Leicester versus Tottenham Hotspur, it's a way to throw that jibe. Looking at you now, a player has been with them, Raheem Sterling. I'm talking about Chelsea, Manchester City.
You're looking at me as sport analyst.
As a confidant of Chelsea. as a Chelsea confidant. Well, from the way it is, what went wrong? I saw a particular post where they say when Burnley play against Man City, I remember Vincent Kompany was the coach then. They lost their first game and they got relegated. And someone said, that was against Guardiola. Now, Maresca's game against Guardiola, he also lost. I hope I'm not saying anything anymore. Okay. And before you say something, how market?
Well, the market is doing very fine, and anybody that is looking for the accused, they should go to Chelsea camp. Probably.
Okay, looking at that game, Man City Chelsea, what really went wrong? 2-0.
Okay, to be sincere, to be honest with you, without any sentiment, Chelsea lost the match before they started the match. Go and check the record of Anthony Taylor anytime he referred Chelsea match. And if you want to be honest and be sincere with you, playing their first match. Last season was Liverpool. Are you saying the FA is ganging up against? I'm not saying that. I'm only asking a question. Okay, and why Anthony Taylor, looking at his record, and we're talking about a referee that is from Manchester. Anthony Taylor is from Manchester. It is well known. Automatically, and we've seen all the matches that Anthony Taylor has referred for Chelsea. So that's why I said the match was lost from even the beginning before they played the match. So because Anthony Taylor and also Chelsea are always being played against bigger teams. Now, I'm only asking a question. But are they not the same clubs? They're the same club. Why should they be afraid to play? But I'm asking, why only Chelsea? Why not? Have you ever seen the beginning of the season why Man City and Man U play? Yeah, but the draw was made. Why Arsenal and Liverpool played? It could be their luck, you know. Oh, come on, leave that. I know the gang up against Chelsea is much this season, but worry not. Chelsea will surprise all of you. After you said people should be looking for their keys in Chelsea. Definitely, because they are taking everybody away and nobody understands what they are doing. Oh my goodness, Stamford Bridge, what a place to be right now. How I wish I'm a footballer. I could have at least signed for Chelsea. Anyway, just throw some jive with too much respect to Chelsea. I love that club. They are trying their best. Football is not easy at times. You just have the wavelength of not performing well. No matter how you try, it may just not come. For Chelsea, they will bounce back and they will actually get their acts together. It has happened to some clubs, and later they were able to overcome it, and they pick up the pieces from there. Wishing the Blues the best there. For my Chelsea fans out there, Najoko. Anyway, quickly, let's run through some stories that still trend in the world of sport. And now we talk about a legend from Nigeria. His name is Tijani Babangida. After the accident that he encountered, his former club Roda JC deemed fit to actually welcome him and also celebrate him. Dutch club Roda JC honors Tijani Babangida at league game. He was all over there in Netherlands, and for the fact that he's recuperating well, they had to bring him to the stadium, and they said a good one for the fact that they recognize what he has done for that club. He was also a former player of Ajax and also Roda JC in Netherlands Eredivisie. But right now, he's being celebrated for the fact that they deem me fit to be okay. Well, you are one of our legends. We can't forget about you. You are getting well. At least you are alive. Yeah, it's a good gesture from the club, and that is where he has the most appearance in his football career. He played 78 times for them, and he scored 26 goals. So that's the highest, or that's the peak he achieved in his career. Even Ajax, that he spent more years playing for than Roda JC. He only played 77 matches, and he scored only 20 goals. So that means his peak was achieved with Roda FC. So I think it's a very good one. Then also, I think we, as country, the sports minister and the welfare department of the NFF, it seriously needs to look into this issue of what do we do for our legend. If they've done, maybe not enough, maybe not pronounced enough. Why do I say so? Now, we'll talk about people in the face of temptation to betray, to deter, to jump ship and play for other country. They still stick to Nigeria based on loyalty. But people should not miss loyalty as the same as slavery. They are two different things. The fact that I'm loyal to you doesn't mean I'm your slave. And loyalty should be two ways. If I'm loyal to my country should be loyal back to me. So we are talking about someone that was part of the 1996 Atlanta Olympic gold medalist. What have we done pronouncedly as a Nigerian for Tijani Babangida? Now, tomorrow, if Tijani Babangida's son happens to be a footballer and he has option of either playing for Remo Star, Shooting Star,
Kano
Pillars, or where his father played last, maybe Ajax or Roda FC, where do you think he will go to based on what happens to his father? So that is the area that we really need to look into it. Look at the just concluded Olympics. We have some Nigerian nationals that represented other countries and they won medal for them. So yes, I know a lot of people will say, no, we have to be patriotic. Yes, we have to be patriotic. But patriotic is not all that, is not what is going to pay your bills. Something will pay your bills when the time comes. So I think we need to really look into how to take care of our legend in this country. So I think it's a very good one they did for him. They did it off pitch. They even did it on pitch also. So that means they really valued his contribution to the club. So a very good one. I wish him a quick recovery.
Tijani Babangida, they have been celebrated by Roda JC, as you remember himself, and also the man that has to do with Lawal. Garuba Lawal also played for that club, and they really celebrate their own. Quickly, before we go, we run through some transfer gossip. As we speak right now, the Blues, they've reached agreement concerning Joao Felix. He will be joining them from Atletico Madrid, and in the next 48 hours, medical will be done. He's coming there until June 2030. 6-year deal between him, the Atletico Madrid and Chelsea, and he's coming back. He's been there before, and at least Connor will also be moving straight down to Atletico. Good one. At least finally they are getting their man.
Good one. What's good there?
Because they wanted him. They've been pursuing him for.
To come and do what? We're talking about someone that has been in Chelsea before. He played 20 matches and he scored only 4 goals.
After all, the hierarchy deemed
the Nicolas Jackson that we are talking about that is a useless player, sorry to use that word, is even more prolific than Joao Felix. We're talking about someone that scored 14 goals last season. None of this is from a penalty. If you look at most of the goals scored by Chelsea last season, Nicolas Jackson contributed in one way or the other through assists or through.
And what if he picks this season?
Is that what?
What if he picks now? I'm talking about Felix.
No, he can't. We can't give what we don't have.
But the hierarchy have spoken.
So, no, it's not about the hierarchy. It's about what the fans want and what the supporters are looking out for.
Maybe fans.
What the hierarchies are doing, it's only them that knows what they are doing. But now, Joao Felix, where does he play? He's not even a striker. He's more of a second striker, a supporting striker. Up to now, Chelsea doesn't have a striker. So that is their problem. If you watch the game on Sunday against Manchester City, they need three departments. Now, the goalkeeper, Sanchez, the first goal and the second goal, I'm going to blame him for that. The defenders, oh come on, we are missing Thiago Silva. No coordination at all at that midfield. Then up front, no striker. So those are the 3 departments that they should be looking into now. To look at someone to compete with Sanchez, to look at someone that will come in to the midfield, to the defense and coordinate and give them direction. Then number 3, they need someone up there as a striker. Prolific striker with goal sense that know the dynamic, the angle, without even looking at the post, you know where to put the ball into.
Okay.
So for the midfield, they don't really need anything. So what?
Osimhen, right?
Well, Osimhen wouldn't be a bad choice. It won't be a bad choice, and I think that's the reason why they are trying to put Sterling out. Sterling currently is earning £325,000 per week, and Osimhen is insisting on collecting £246,000 per week. And right now, if you look at the wingers, Chelsea, they have what's his name? Neto. They have Modric. Their Felix is coming, can play from the wing also. So that means for that week, they don't really need Sterling. And looking at the age of Sterling, it's their hold.
So automatically from
so if Sterling can go, then Osimhen, they can have that money to really pay for Osimhen. I think that's the card they are paying.
But with much respect to Jackson, Nicholas, to some extent, that guy is trying his best, might just not be enough. So for Chelsea fans to see him as not too used to that club.
I don't think he's as bad as people think that he is.
But you just mentioned that.
No. If you look at the Chelsea that is missing,
okay.
That's what I'm talking about. And don't forget also, I said earlier, now this is a player that scored 14 goals last season. None of these goals came from penalty. And there's no goal that Chelsea scored last season. Almost 70 to 75% of it, you see the contribution from Nicolas Jackson.
Now,
he's a rugged player, but that goal sense he does not have it.
I will take it from you there. I can feel your pain as a Chelsea fan.
It's not about pain, it's about reality.
Oh my goodness. I actually got about 3-0 this morning. It was 2-0 you got last Sunday, right? I added 3 to it, so making it 5-0.
No problem. At the end of the season, we'll see where
goodness.
to end.
Well, just hope that Chelsea will get it right. That's just football. They just started. It's a marathon. Who knows? They can still win the league if they are determined and be more prolific at the front. Now, quickly, just to give it as news for you, Chelsea's Raheem Sterling is a target for Juventus amid uncertainty over his future. From the way it is, he could be leaving to Juventus. Another one says Atalanta want 40 million euros for Ademola Lookman from PSG. If they are to cough out some money, it will be up to 40 million euros for Ademola Lookman. While this one says Real Madrid player Vinicius Jr. receives 5-year deal worth $1 billion from Al Ahly. Now, if you look at the breakdown of that particular $1 billion, you have 4.2 million a week, 600,000 a day, 25,000 an hour, and $416 per minute for Vinicius Jr. Will he leave and stay with the Los Merengues? That's football. It's himself that will answer that question. And the last one has to do with Arsenal. Arsenal reject 25 million plus add-ons for striker Ejidike from Nottingham Forest. They want him, but right now Arsenal say no, we want more money. If you want to get Ejidike, you have to cough more out there. Well, we've been talking sport with Olale Peters, and just to wrap it up, you have something to say. I can see your body.
No, I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
I think Arsenal should allow Ejidike to go.
Okay.
He's a very good striker. It's someone that needs a more playing time, and preferably if they can allow him to go on loan, maybe 6 months or 1 year loan, so they can share whatever the salary is and bring him back to the squad. But right now, it will be difficult for him to get the playing time that he needs to really make him improve on his game.
Okay, maybe when I was mentioning Vinicius Junior's salary, that was when you.
Oh, okay. That one is like you are not being fair to us. Why do you have to break it down to month, week, day?
At least that's how they.
But the truth is, I think what they are doing in Saudi Pro League is like marketing. They are marketing in the sense that they want to be in the news. It's not really going to go there.
Well. We just have to add that, because really they wanted Osimhen last time. Also, they did that concerning Osimhen, but he didn't move there. Well, we've been talking with Olale Peters. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here.
Your clothes will be more blue last night. I'm Adeni Adishafe. Sport is always business and fitness, as we always say. Thanks for watching.